Hello, this is part one of my two-part Godzilla 2014, aka Gojira 2014 movie review. Now, initially, this was all going to be one movie, and I was going to focus on this is all going to be one big review, but it would have changed up my format way too much for how I review movies. So instead, I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to introduce the movie, then we're going to go through the plot. This is going to be a spoiler-free plot, so I'm just going to cover the general gist of what you can expect from this monster film, and then I'll go into why is this important, and for the conclusion, it's going to be a very brief segment where I'm just going to tell you about what's the spoiler-tastic part 2 of this review. So let's get this party started. Okay, let's get into it. The plot. Now, I'm not going to go too in-depth of the plot because those are spoilers. Basically, the plot is relatively simple. There is, early on in the film, you see a whole bunch of stills which tell of the existence of gigantic monsters. You see various hints that there are gigantic monsters in this world, and basically, early on in the film, you see hints that Godzilla himself is a gigantic monster. Fast forward a few years, about 30-something years, or 40-something years, something is awakened in a dig, and it goes out and causes some problems, and the shit hits the fan. Later on in the film, the scientist character that every monster movie, the scientist characters that every monster movie has, that basically tell people, you shouldn't do this shouldn't be done, you know, that no one listens to till the last minute, basically says that these monsters are going to fight each other, and they do. A lot of shit gets destroyed, and generally speaking, the graphics, how the monsters are introduced is relatively well done. The human characters are actually relatively well introduced. They all have stakes in what's going on in ways that are humanized. Even the monster characters in the film have their own motivations besides just destroying the world or anything like that. Which is a nice change of pace from other monster films. That being said, overall, the film's climax is these monsters fighting it out in San Francisco. And ultimately, it's your standard monster film. That's the plot. We'll get to the why is this important after the cut. Now, let's get to the why is this important. This film is important for three very big reasons. First of all, this film, while I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, is a nice refresher, is a palate cleanser from the Roland Emmerich disaster film called Godzilla '98. As a matter of fact, I would say that this film is the best damn Godzilla film made since 2004. Of course, there hasn't been a Godzilla film made since 2004, so that kind of... It's pretty good, though. It's pretty good. It suffers from it has a very light amount of camp, So it's not too campy. It's a pretty mainstream film, but it still has plenty of nods to the original. The second reason this movie is very important is that it is probably going to be relatively commercially viable worldwide. It's done pretty well. And the third thing is that this film sets up sequels, which I would love to see sequels to this Americanized Godzilla, because this Americanized Godzilla it's Americanized, but it still holds nods to its source material, which is something that the 98 Godzilla just didn't have. So now that we've talked about why this is important, let's get to the final say, which is the conclusion of part 1 of my 2-part Godzilla review. Okay then, the conclusion is that this is a must-see if you are a Godzilla fan. If you are a kaiju fan, this is a must-see. If you are a Pacific Rim Cloverfield fan, this is a must-see. But in my humble opinion, this film shits all over Cloverfield and Pacific Rim, and, you know, I mean, is this movie gonna blow Marvel films out the water? No. Or Spider-Man 2? No. Or X-Men Futures and whatever that movie is? No. But I think this has the potential to bring back the king of all monsters, and that's good. Stay tuned for part 2 of this review, where I will be covering the good, the bad, and the ugly of this film, and it will be spoiler-tastic. I'll be going in depth of my thoughts about certain scenes and everything like that. Warning, part 2 will be spoiler-tastic. So if you haven't seen the film or don't want it spoiled for you, don't watch part 2. Thank you and have a good day.